Hello, this is the second part where I'll demonstrate the process of sewing the back part of the dress. In this video, we'll also join the front and back parts together. The first thing to do is transfer the dart placement from one back piece to the other back piece. I'll show one of the methods I use. I fold the pieces right sides in, pin them together and lay hand stitch along the dart lines. This method ensures that the dart placement on both back pieces is the same. Then, I flip the pieces to the other side and, using a ruler with rounded edges, mark the placement of the dart. I also mark the end of the dart. You can remove the thread. Additionally, mark the dart lines again, and it's done. Alright, the back pieces are placed with the wrong side facing up. Next, I fold the back piece along the dart lines and secure them with pins. During this process, I ensure that the dart lines on both sides of the back piece align when pinning. Additionally, I secure with more pins. If you're unsure about using pins or if your fabric shows pin marks, then use hand stitches instead. Sew together. Don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and end of the seam. Time for pressing. First, you need to press the dart seam itself. Then, open up the back piece and now press the dart towards the center back seam. Now, it's time to sew the back pieces together at the center. Fold the back pieces with the right sides of the fabric facing inward. From the top edge of the folded pieces, measure the length of the invisible zipper. For me, it's 30 centimeters, make a mark. At this point, you need to sew a temporary stitch using the sewing machine's maximum stitch width, which is 4 millimeters for me. Then, sew a regular stitch from this mark down to the bottom edge. I start stitching from the bottom edge of the back piece. I sew with a regular stitch width, 2.5 millimeters. Until I reach the mark, then I backstitch. I change the stitch width on the sewing machine to the maximum, which is 4 millimeters for me, and sew a temporary stitch from the mark to the top edge line. Again, start by pressing the seam itself. Then, open up the back pieces and press the seam open. This will be an open seam. All seams in this dress are open since the dress is lined. Joining the back to the back skirt panel, make sure you've marked the center of the skirt. First, at the top edge of the back skirt panel, sew 2 rows of gathering stitches. To do this, set your sewing machine to the maximum stitch width, which is 4 millimeters for me. Sew the first stitch of 0.5 centimeters from the edge, and the second stitch of 0.2 centimeters from the first stitch. So, I've placed the back of the dress with the right side of the fabric facing up. I turn the skirt. Connect the back to the skirt at the center. Make sure the pieces are folded with the right sides together. Now, from one edge of the skirt towards the center, gather the fabric. Before pinning the skirt with safety pins, I carefully distribute the gathers along the entire length. Then, making sure that the length of half of the skirt with gathers matches the length of half of the lower edge of the back, I tie off the threads at the end of the skirt to prevent the gathers from coming undone. Secure the skirt to the back with pins. Similarly, gather the fabric from the other side of the skirt. Sew the pieces together. I'll remind you that the gathering stitches along the top edge of the skirt were made 0.5 centimeters from the edge, with the second stitch 0.2 centimeters from the first. Now, when we're sewing the skirt to the back, Our seam allowance included in the pattern is 1 centimeter, which means that the gathering stitches on the skirt will be enclosed inside and won't need to be removed since they won't be visible on the front side of the dress. Direct the seam allowances downwards on the skirt and secure them with temporary hand stitches. We're joining the front part of the dress to the back. I've placed the back piece of the dress with the right side facing up. I take the front part of the dress and place it with the right side facing down. This means the right sides of the back and front parts of the dress are inside. First, I connect the front and back parts of the dress at the point where the seam connecting the top of the dress to the skirt is located. It's important that the lines match at this point. Then, I pin the dress together along the entire length, ensuring the lines match. Additionally, I hand stitch for reinforcement. I turn the dress right side out to check if the lines of the front and back parts of the dress match at the seam connecting the pieces to the skirt. The side seams of the dress will also be left open. I align the hemline of the skirt. In my case, the front part of the skirt is slightly longer. Therefore, I draw a smooth line and trim off the excess. It's better to press the seams at the top of the dress on a special pressing board. I use a pressing board for sleeves. I also align the top edge of the dress, trimming off any seam allowances that protrude beyond the line. In the next part, we will be attaching the lining to the dress, and I will demonstrate the process of inserting the invisible zipper.